Well, the Steelers, they lose to the Cleveland Browns Thursday Night Football.
29-17, see by the score there. We fall 1-2. Browns gain to 2-1.
The Browns are now first place in the AFC North. Congrats to the Browns.
Yeah.
Seriously, they were the better team.
Clearly.
They outperformed us.
And
They got the win.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where to start here. I suppose the offense, right? As usual, starts with the quarterback, right? Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, coming into this game, the offense, Trubisky, the quarterback position, Trubisky, and even offensive coordinator Matt Canada was a big question mark.
Yes. We were hoping they would get aggressive, even with the weather concerns, the wind gusts. We actually saw a little flashiness from the offense in the first half. We did. To the point we actually scored 2 straight touchdowns on 2 straight drives. When was the last time we did that? I can't tell you.
No, neither could I.
It was a rushing touchdown by Najee, and it was a rushing touchdown by Mitch. We scored 2 touchdowns combined in week 1 and 2. Today, we scored 2 touchdowns, only in the first half. We only scored a field goal in essentially garbage time at the end of the second half.
Yes, towards the end of the second half. Boswell could have made another one, but due to the wind and it being long distance, Boswell missed a field goal in the first half.
When I look at this offense and I think back to some of our miscues, that field goal definitely hurt from Boz. I blame it more so on the win. There was a play that Mitch overthrew Johnson right towards the end of the first half. If he connected that, we would have been in field goal range, could have hit a field goal, possibly gotten closer to a touchdown to increase the lead, right? We went into halftime 14-13, leading.
Yes.
And there was a play in the second half where Mitch was being pressured and threw a great pass right on target, right where it needed to be, to Deontay. But Deontay dropped it. If that would have happened, who knows what the outcome could have been. Deep shot to Deontay, and he dropped it.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 plays that come to mind with this offense or with this team that are miscues, more so from the offensive side of the ball. In the first half, we got to see something different. We got to see tempo, no huddle. We saw flashiness. We mixed things up. We actually got Najee going. He had over 40 yards on the ground in the first half. He only got 10 yards in the second half.
Yeah.
So we limited Najee in the second half. Mitch had 200 yards today through the air. No passing touchdown, no interception. Best game as a Steeler, but that's not saying much.
No. Now, Mitch looked better.
Mitch looked better, but clearly wasn't enough to get the job done.
No. And Matt Canada's play calling, although to me and Dan it was basically the same stuff from previous weeks and even previous years, to be honest.
Right.
It was more effective. And we were able to drive down the field and get points on the board in the first half.
Because, we mixed some things up. We actually got some success in the first half. It was fun to watch, actually.
Yeah.
Seeing us get Najee and even Jalen Warren in there. Deontay had a good game today. Mitch was looking good in the first half. The offensive line looked very solid today. Very solid. They allowed only 1 sack, more so Najee in pass pro. But the O-line looked solid today. Yeah, seems like they're getting better.
Yeah, the offensive line is actually being a hidden gem on the offense.
Yeah.
Something that was very worrisome heading to the season has actually been a bright spot. But just a little bit.
But towards the end of the, in the second half, none of that was existent whatsoever. None of that was existent whatsoever. But what was most existent with the offense was the same plays over and over. Okay? The play calling was a little better from Canada, but it was repetitive.
Yeah.
It was the same garbage.
The same stuff, like I mentioned earlier. Same stuff from the previous weeks, from previous years.
Look at that.
More effective. Now
keep in mind, this is the first half.
And don't try to misconstrue our words. It was more effective, but if you can see right there from the first half alone, it was the same stuff from previous weeks.
We only took, if I'm correct from what I saw, there was maybe 3 or 4 shots down the middle of the field. One to Claypool that was incomplete, and a few to Muth, who actually only saw 2 targets, which he caught late into the game as we tried to increase the score.
Yes.
That was it. Muth was non-existent. Why? Why is the middle of the field still non-existent? Every single play we see from this offense when it comes to Mitch throwing the ball is sideline shot, sideline shot, sideline shot. It's limited. The route tree is so limited. The offense is repetitive. The offense does not run a lot of plays, but they run the same plays a lot. It's ridiculous.
And that's a problem. Every week, it's not going to be effective.
No, it's not.
It's not always going to be effective, especially with our schedule before our bye week. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I suggest looking. It doesn't look too bright.
No, it doesn't. But we look at the box score. I mean,
Mitch had 200 yards, 20 passes completed out of 32 attempts. He did have a rushing touchdown.
In terms of receiving ability, Deontay had a great game. As usual, Deontay's going to see targets. That's how good of a receiver he is. But you look at this Browns offense. Look at this. Jacoby had 31 attempts, completing 21 of them for 220 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns.
You see Nick Chubb right there, 23 carries for 113 yards, 1 touchdown. He killed us on the ground. Even Kareem Hunt just underneath him.
Jacoby Brissett, 11 yards on the ground. All 3 of those carries were quarterback sneaks.
Successful.
What you're seeing is the Browns offense mixing things up, getting Brissett involved, using the ground game to tire this team out. And thus, Witherspoon had a rough game, as you can see from Amari Cooper's stats right here. 101 yards, 1 touchdown. Very similar last week. Njoku, almost 90 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
This defense was horrendous tonight.
And it goes to show you that the impact of TJ Watt is missed.
Incredibly missed.
And again, no pass rush. For the second straight week, there was hardly any pass rush. We got 1 sack.
2 sacks.
2 sacks.
2 sacks.
We got 2 sacks early in the game. Or 1 early in the game, 1 later in the game. My bad.
That's it. But
that's
then
it.
pass rush is non-existent. Malik Reed might as well not even be on the field because he does nothing, honestly. Stepping in for Watt, and he's going to continue to step in for Watt till he returns till, I'm thinking, after the bye. Not doing anything. Russian defense was non-existent. Witherspoon got cooked by Cooper. Edmonds allowed 2 red zone touchdowns.
Yeah, defense was
dead all game.
See, defense was so not. After that first sack that they got, which was Ogunjobi and I think Highsmith, they shared a sack.
Right.
After that, the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed.
The Browns' offense kept driving down the field consistently and effortlessly. The defense was terrible tonight.
The only bright spot from this game was rookie wide receiver George Pickens.
Yeah.
That one-handed catch that he made, I don't know how he did it, but unfucking believable.
George Pickens, man. And to think, we didn't get him involved.
No, after that catch, he hardly saw, maybe saw 1 more target, maybe. Or 1 more catch. He saw targets, seven targets. He caught 3 passes for 39 yards. After that catch, he only got 1 more catch after that.
That's it. You have a guy like George Pickens making a catch like that. And you don't get him involved more. That was the biggest highlight of this game when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The offense play calling was a little better. Too repetitive in the second half led to nothing.
Literally nothing. But this is the main highlight from this game is George Pickens. This man, if used properly, if utilized, is a star in the making.
He's going to be a stud. We all agree to that. He's not being used properly. The routes he's running is so limited. It's terrible. As is for the entire offense. Again, what you saw with that route sheet, with the next-gen stats with Mitch, that's how limited this offense is. We're not opening the field. Don't get me wrong. It was a little successful in the first half. We mixed some things up. We actually got Najee going. But in the second half, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. It was limited. Repetitiveness. I don't get it. I don't get why we didn't continue that aggressiveness on offense. We need to be aggressive in this matchup. We were in the first half, which gave us the lead. But ultimately, they took their foot off the gas and did not help the defense in the second half one bit. You knew the defense couldn't be trusted after that first half. You knew they were gassed, and you take your foot off the pedal. And thus, the defense can't do anything about it.
No. And it goes to show that the Steelers, they are SOS. The same old Steelers. A first-half team. Offense is inconsistent. But the impact of Watt dearly missed, defense can't stop anything.
And keep in mind, we still have like 4, 5, 6 weeks of Watt being out. With Mitch, he had a better game today, but it just wasn't enough to get the job done.
No.
The coordinator, the play calling still a little iffy. Mitch could have had a couple throws that he definitely could have connected. Some receivers could have caught a couple passes. I don't know why we didn't stop feeding Najee and try to control the clock and gain the lead back, but that's just me.
And the defense, man, they got to figure something out. They got to figure out how to cause pressure on opposing quarterbacks. They got to figure out a way to stop the run without T.J. Watt, but I don't know how you do that because T.J. Watt is that much missed on defense.
And he's that effective. And he is that different.
Literally, one guy has changed the course of this defense.
Yes. That's T.J. Watt for you.
God, we can't get it back.
And we have a tough stretch coming up, and it starts with the Jets next week. In week 4. Thankfully, Steelers have a mini bye. That'll help. But with this team, man, we're in for a very interesting year. We're in for a pretty long season.
Yes.
But going into this year, I didn't expect that much because I also didn't know what to expect. All I did know is we're not getting number 7 this year. So with the team we have, I'm just going to enjoy it. Tonight was somewhat enjoyable. Little fun moments. The offense was awake a little bit, but towards the second half, it was a snooze fest. It was the same thing we've seen the past 3 years.
Yes.
So this is the team we have for now. We hope it improves throughout the weeks. We have a tough stretch of games. I'm not holding my breath, but
all we can do is hope that there's some change, there's some positive to come.
Right.
Just something.
That's all we can do.
Even a glimpse, just something.
If you want to hold on to any optimism, there you go.
But it's going to be a tough stretch of games, and it starts with the Jets.
Right, but regardless, we lose to the Cleveland Browns on Thursday Night Football in prime time on the AFC North battle, 29-17. I don't know what that final play was.
Yeah, that's what actually
garbage.
The game should have ended 23-17, but the Steelers they tried to be something, and the Browns defense recovered and got 6 extra points. So there you go.
But nonetheless, that's the final score. 29-17. Steelers lose. We fall to 1-2. We'll see what the team does in the next coming days as we prepare for the New York Jets for Week 4.
Yes.
So let us know your guys' thoughts down below. How you feeling about this team? What do you think needs to be changed? I know I already know what the answer is going to be, but we gave you our opinion already.
And huge shout out to Loose Cannon. Huge shout out to Unger to the max. Props to your team. You guys were the better team this week. We will see you guys Week 18.
Yes, sir.
Try to get some revenge.
Yes, sir.
But we are on to the Jets for Week 4. Here we go, Steelers. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace.